Hi everyone, welcome back to The Addicted Bookworm. Alright, I'm redoing this video because I made a whole bunch of mistakes and I was like, nah, I want my review of Lethal Licorice to be clear and to the point. But before I do that, I'm going to be talking about this book. So I read 4 chapters of this book. I am at 61% according to my e-reader of the book finished. I found the 4 chapters to be filled with tiny little things that something tells me is going to be important in the overall scheme of things. We have a little bit of Aragon eating breakfast, which I thought was kind of boring. The 4 chapters, as I said, I just feel like they're filler chapters. And I don't really like filler chapters. I just feel like that he kind of didn't know where he was going to take the story, so he filled it with filler chapters. I might be wrong, but I just didn't find Aragon eating breakfast to be that important to the overall story. But I'm at 61% of this book read, so I'm going to continue on with it, and we'll see where it goes. Alright, so to the review of Lethal Licorice, which is going to make up the most of this video. And then right before I have to get ready to, get dressed and go to work, I will do the reading wrap up for this week, because I do have a book that I finished. So, yep. So Lethal Licorice by Amanda Flowers. Right here, it's the middle book right here with the horse and the pig. The pig features prominently in all future cover art. It's so cute. Okay, so why is the pig prominent in this? Is because the author decided that the pig had to be in every single cover art. Anyways. So Lethal Licorice takes place a couple of months after the death of Bailey's grandfather. And there is an ACC competition, which stands for Amish Candy Competition. And it's only open to Amish candy makers who make candy in the traditional Amish fashion. So what happens basically is Bailey's participation in the competition has this one woman called Josephine Weaver very mad. I mean, she is just spitting mad. She literally has venom coming out of her mouth. This is how spitting mad she actually is. And this is important because Josephine is going to be the dead body. And she is basically arguing with the judge, why can't the grandmother do this? First and foremost, the grandmother is still in mourning. Why the hell would you want a woman who's in mourning to participate in a competition that's supposed to be cheery and happy and all that stuff that people in mourning will never be until they're out of that particular phase of their life? I should know. I was in it. So Bailey's allowed to take part in it because, first of all, she is this guy's granddaughter. 2, she learned how the Amish make their candy, so she can make candy in their traditional Amish fashion. She also has Emily, who happens to be Amish. So that helps. So what happens is, Brody's, I'll use his last name, Brody's mother is absolutely frantic because she can't find her darling little piggy Jethro. Jethro is this small pot-bellied pig that's polka dotted, has a giant spot over its eye. Absolutely adorable character. This is why the pig's in every single cover art in this series. So she agrees to help. She agrees to help. To get, to find the pig. They can't find the pig, but she encounters a young girl. I think it's Carolyn. I think that's how you pronounce her name. It is probably Carolyn, but it's spelled differently. Or is it anyways, young girl. She's playing an organ, and she's in traditional Amish clothes, which is kind of odd because the Amish do not play the organ. Well, there's something off about the organ. The organ is not playing right, and it sounds like a dead cat being strangled to death. So, of course, Bailey decides to open the little door to see what's causing the organ to malfunction, and a hand comes out, and connected to the hand is a body. The body is Josephine. So, of course, it's a homicide, because this woman's mouth is all like, and then it's like her tongue sticking out, and it's like inflated. So yeah, it's a deadly reaction to whatever she ingested. Well, we later on find out that Josephine was highly allergic to licorice. Not just, it isn't the licorice itself that she's allergic to, it's the anise that's in the extract that you need to turn candy into licorice, along with the other ingredients as well. And one of the rounds that is in the competition happens to be licorice, because it is a traditional Amish candy. Yeah, everyone wants to know, your Twizzlers have root in traditional Amish candy. So anyways, so of course Bailey is kind of considered a suspect to Brody, because in her pocket was licorice, which Josephine would not have had in her pocket because she was allergic to it. So she had to make licorice, but she didn't touch it. It was her partner that touched it, because her partner doesn't have a allergic reaction to licorice. So despite everything, the ACC continues on, and of course Josephine's shop wins. Bailey took home the thing for taffy, and for, of course, the only competition that Bailey actually cared about, or category that Bailey cared about, that was chocolate. So she won the fudge competition, fudge round. And of course, no sooner did she win, but all the tourists started to invade this poor little old lady's shop wanting fudge. They wanted fudge, they wanted taffy, they wanted everything. So even though she didn't win the overall competition, she won in her categories that she was good at, and she was very happy. So Bailey was not a sore loser. She was ecstatic. She got her fudge street creds. That's all she cared about. Bailey is a delightful character. I love her. And it was like, cred? She had to explain what that meant. Meanwhile, Emily's asshole brother pops up, and yeah. But anyways, so this young girl that plays the organ, she is in this period, this 1 year period, where Amish youth decide if they're going to stay with the church, or they're going to, become English, which is another name for someone who's not Amish. They use it as a very, like, a derogatory terminology. Some of the characters in this book does. Nutmeg is still there. He has his kingdom. And Bailey and the grandmother are just servants that live in his domain. Typical cat behavior. He also accepts all form of worship by other people. Typical cat. They remember. Anyways, so we find out that the girl who plays the organ and Bailey are cousins, or kind of cousins, but they're all kind of the same. And then we also find out that Josephine's husband died in a buggy accident involving a hill and gravity. Yeah. So the buggy came in contact with Gravity, came in contact with Hill, came in contact with Josephine's husband, who died instantly. Yeah, Gravity does in fact kill. And then Josephine became an entirely different person, and she started judging other people and everything. And now that Josephine's dead, what will happen now? Well, the elders have decided to sell Josephine's shop, even though it just won the ACC. They don't care. They're selling the shop, and they already have idea of developers coming in and kicking everyone else out because they don't care. But we find out the killer is the same one who accidentally killed Josephine's husband. I cannot pronounce his name. I do not want to. But he decides to solve his Bailey problem with a big old fat butcher knife. Lovely. So yeah, he's a little, up in the head. But we do find Jethro in this. We do find Jethro in this story. Jethro is fine. He's just a little agitated that he's been stuck inside the little house, also commonly known as the mausoleum, for last several days. He wants his mommy, and he's very upset. Actually, he's so upset he knocks the killer because he's not expecting a pint-sized boulder to go over his shins, and he falls. Absolutely love the book. And I want to say that this girl's father is a literal jackass. Yeah. So let's see here. Josephine's husband owned the buggy repair shop. Okay. Josephine's husband gets killed by Gravity. Josephine's dead husband. So Josephine's. Okay, here's the thing. Josephine's husband died by Gravity. Josephine decides to have relations with the guy who introduced Gravity to how the guy died. It was messed up. And then her dead husband's brother owns the shop. He's the father of the organ player who decides to shun her because she has made her decision that she's going to leave the faith. At the end of it, she doesn't actually leave the faith. She doesn't. She actually just moves to a new district where she's accepted by that community to be an organ player, and she now plays the organ. I've noticed it gets warm out, all the dumb nuts come out. Anyways, so now Bailey's new cousin is a member of that district that she lives in, and she's able to play the organ, and the pastor does not care. Does not care. So she doesn't leave the faith, she just moves to a new district, and is still considered to be Amish. Anyways, overall, Find the Piggy was fun. I was so happy they found poor Jethro. Jethro was so adorable. And of course, this guy doesn't realize, because he's so stupid, that cell phones have connection to the police, and the operator heard the whole confession. And that's how Brody found her and kept her from joining Josephine in the afterlife. Anyways, overall, absolutely loved this book. All the characters are either you kind of like them, you kind of hate them, you kind of feel sorry for them. Jethro the pig is amusing. I really happen to like that character. Brody's mother's obsession over not just the pig, but seeing her son married to Bailey, who Bailey's grandmother would like to see married to Brody. Yeah, those two women, they're plotting something together. They are plotting something together. They are too thick. Those two are thick as thieves. Oh, they're hilarious. Anyways, I just thought the book was just wonderful. When I got home, I was on chapter, I think it was chapter 21, and I didn't go to bed till like 4 something in the morning because I wanted to finish reading this book. But yeah, so I actually have. I hate it when I have to do that. I have premeditated peppermint right here, and I will start reading that story tomorrow. And then I have Criminally Coca. Criminally Coca. Once again, Jethro's in the cover art. That one is when Bailey takes her cousin to New York City. First time that she's been in the big city. So yeah. I am currently at 39% of the Murder on the Links. I actually acquired this book right here. I got this for like 98 cents, which is great. The Man and His Cat is a Kindle Unlimited, so I was good there. So yeah. Alright. So the next book that I'm going to be reading, since I'm done with Lethal Licorice, is going to be Murder on the Intergalactic Railway, and I'm going to see how many chapters are in this book. There's 23 chapters in the book. So I'm going to go ahead and read like the first 4 chapters of the book, and we'll see if I like it. Alright, so that is my video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys a little bit later on. Bye.